Does it feel like every part of your life is divided? Every scenario, every environment, your church, your school, your work, your friends, left, right, conservative, liberal, religious, secular. It seems you always have to take a side. This is a conversation between a progressive Christian and a conservative atheist who happen to be great friends. Welcome to Living on Common Ground.
Do you think if we met today, we would still be friends?
I don't know, but we're friends now.
A mob is known as a mob because they're with you.
Man, so what? We won a few games. And y'all fools think that's something? Man, that ain't nothing, y'all. And you know what else? We ain't nothing either. Yeah, we came together in camp. Cool. But then we're right back here and the world tells us that they don't want us to be together. We fall apart like we ain't a damn bit of nothing, man.
Okay. So, I am going to say what I just said because we were having some technical difficulties. And
Say
Lucas,
that you're going to say it and then say it.
Yeah, well, Lucas was going to be the only one. You're only going to hear one side of this entire conversation, which is going to be just Lucas, which I can
That's
think
how
of
it
a
usually
couple
goes.
people. I can hear a couple people that actually would prefer that. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Elena. So, anyway, the episode that came out today, which was called God, Gum, Emery Boards, and then I think surprisingly deep reflections or conversation or something like that. Anyway, in there I said I don't have a social media account, but I do now. So that technically I guess
rejoined the land of the living.
Yeah, I was told I need so I have a Facebook account, but I don't have a TikTok account or a Instagram account. And I was told by somebody that I needed a TikTok account, to which my comment was, but I don't dance.
We deleted TikTok like 4 years ago.
What is the
Krista
purpose of TikTok?
It's the exact same thing as Instagram, except from what I can tell, trends tend to start on TikTok. Maybe they start somewhere else first. Okay. You know, if you're really like in the know, if you're like a Gen Alpha or something.
Yeah.
But they seem to start on TikTok, then they pour over into Instagram.
Okay.
And then they fall from there into Facebook. And then at some point, Sean Hannity talks about it. And then you know it's all over.
Sure. Well, so all I am is on the end of that whole trajectory, except Sean hasn't talked about my stuff yet.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get conversation started is what I'm actually trying to do. And that will have constructive results.
I have such a what is the right word? It's like a reflex. Yeah, it's a reflex. I have such a reflex when I see your questions.
Yeah. Well, you haven't commented on any of them.
Yeah,
so.
I almost did like 3 times, and then I deleted them because I don't feel like it's helpful.
That's how I feel about everything I've written prior to like recently. Yep.
But like every time I see it, I think, well, you know what the right answer is that you.
Me?
Yeah, the way that they're,
I don't think
they're
so.
phrased.
So are you accusing me?
No, I'm not. I'm not accusing you. What I'm saying is every time that I see the question, I want to come in and be like, well, maybe the other way.
I gotcha.
Which is a pain. This is why
we've had this conversation. This is what I love about you.
This is why I'm a pain.
Okay, so I want to say this too. I want to give you and Krista both some props for a moment, because the thing that you say is a pain is actually the thing that is forcing me to do all the work I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Because you have gotten me thinking so much that I have to get it out. And the interesting thing is, and so this started last year, right? Our podcast has been going on almost 2 years now.
2 years now, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But all of the writing stuff began last year because I needed to get my thoughts out because I was driving myself insane trying to keep track of them.
Sure.
Right. And so that started. And then I realized that what we started doing was just because I enjoy it, and I was selfishly trying to figure out how could I spend more time with Lucas and actually get on his calendar. Right. And so that's what I did. But then I began to realize that what we were doing beyond my own selfish motivations was actually something that was important.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized I actually finally had something that I had written that I thought was worth sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I thought I need to, I jokingly to JB, I said I've finally come out of the closet, and I'm not hiding behind, living on common ground or whatever. I'm just fully owning up to these are my thoughts, and this is where I'm at, and this is what I'm trying to do. So anyway, so the social media thing, the Facebook thing, is trying to get some genuine conversation started.
Yeah.
And then it just so happens that the episode that came out today kind of talks more about what's been going on.
Yeah, which is good. I think that the conversations that you're trying to start they're good conversations. I say it tongue in cheek. I mostly am talking about my pain in the butt, just temperament.
Yeah.
Of like,
but yeah, all that to say that's the thing that causes me to grow.
Wow.
If you're just like, yeah, Jeff, that's brilliant, that would suck.
Well, okay.
Right?
Then you have a never-ending font of the opposite of that.
Yeah.
No, I like I think the questions that you're asking are good questions.
So
I think they're good conversations.
So I want to run through.
I want to say that on the record.
Okay. Well, thank you. I want to run through some of the things that were said, and because people have taken the time to respond, and I want to, if they're listening, I want to give them an opportunity, like, to hear sort of. I mean, I've tried to reply to them, but one of the things was the first one was, does admitting I might be wrong strengthen my faith or weaken it, and why? And so we got things. A lot of people said they felt like it strengthened it, and then Elena.
That's the right answer.
Well, maybe.
Which makes me want to say, well, what's the steel man on the other side then?
Sure.
Anyway, go ahead.
That's okay. And then Elena was very honest and said that she doesn't know, but it does strengthen her kids' faith because they love when they ask her questions that she can't answer them. And then
I liked the example that she gave, though, of
what's that?
Of how she says
they love asking me questions about scripture.
She said that it kind of went off the rails. Maybe this is a different question.
Well, yeah,
because one of her kids was mad that they lost their, what was it, the soccer game? When they prayed.
They prayed.
And they didn't think that the other side probably prayed as much.
Right.
And I almost asked the question, well, like, are we sure that one of the kids on her kids' soccer team didn't make God angry? I mean, like, Are we positive?
Right. Are you certain?
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. Maybe. And then I liked how Rachel took it and said that it's not just like this faith, but everything should be able to stand up to scrutiny, like physical structures, friendships, marriage, faith, and so much more. I thought that was really good insight. And so anyway, got a lot of good responses. And then I did my first ever reel.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. That's what they're called.
Gosh, we're old, man.
I know. And that's okay.
Is good.
And I know. And again, got great responses from that. I wish that that particular question wasn't specifically faith, and I know that the first one, it was a lot of faith, and so I heard from a lot of my friends that are believers. What I am hoping, though, is that a lot of my friends who are not believers, like Gary, who has already jumped right in the conversation, that I could get more of them to jump into. So, and I guess that would include you. But so Monica said, I can't wait to see answers here to the question. And I'm trying to watch the end. So the question is, how do you explain it when someone you respect deeply believes something you think is completely wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind
Well,
of...
you lose respect for them
Yeah.
and move on with your life.
Right. So a lot of people talked about asking questions. Some people talked about just completely avoiding it. Anyway, we've talked about asking questions here before, right? And then my friend John, who I haven't talked to in years, I was so glad to see him joining in. And he says this. He says, there are a lot of layers to this onion, Jeff. Your question made me immediately think of two people that are polar opposites in beliefs, to the point of anger/rage in defending those beliefs. But both of these people are genuinely good humans, the kind that would and have helped those in need without hesitation, people that I could call on any time. Are they both right, both wrong, somewhat right? I don't know. The only thing I can say they have in common is that they are both adamant, which kills conversation and compromise. And now I'm sitting here thinking, what topics do I refuse to be persuaded or changed my mind on? And then he writes, "Go Vols." So anyway, questions.
That's the correct statement
right
at the end there.
So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things about the importance of friendship and valuing people over being right. So what about it? What for you? What seems to be the thing that how do you explain it when someone you respect deeply believes something you think is completely wrong? What do you do with that?
What do I do with that? I mean, I will say that I have, and I mentioned this on a previous episode, that there is a part of my temperament that would rather be right than happy, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if I'm honest with myself, I want to know that I have the right perspective, the correct perspective. And I'm okay with saying maybe I don't have the right perspective, but I should always be in constant pursuit of the correct perspective. That is my temperament. That's kind of like a driving force for me. And I think that is something that I should be aware of, and it's good for me to temper that part of myself. It's not a great part of myself. I think that it could probably contribute to good things, but also it can contribute to ugly things as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's something that I just have to keep in the front of my mind as much as possible. So I don't want to feel like a chump.
Oh, that reminds me of a song.
I really don't. It's a core deep in my gut kind
Value?
of feeling. I don't know that I would call it a value.
Mm-hmm.
It's a drive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to feel like a chump. I don't want to feel like I got tricked into something. I had the wrong position,
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think that contributes to some ugliness, which is why I try to, I think that I should try to keep it in my mind so that I can work on it.
Okay. So let me tell you what I think I heard you say, and tell me how I'm wrong.
Okay.
And then you'll have to just correct me if I misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, you, and I'm going to rephrase it, but tell me if I catch it. So there is you have your beliefs, and you're fairly certain, but you keep open to that maybe you're not, and so you hear other things, but then it causes you to continue to question and continue to search because you don't want to be wrong. And there's this, and so I'm going to add this to, there's a certain amount of desire for intellectual honesty that's taking place.
So that's a very nice way of putting it,
Mm-hmm.
a desire for intellectual honesty.
Mm-hmm.
The other way that you could describe it that I think would just be as correct is that it is that is how my ego is manifest. It's very egoic, if that's a word. It's very.
It is now.
It's very. It's very much a manifestation of my ego. Yes, I think all of that's right. I want to know more so that I know the correct things.
Okay, the correct things. So, are you saying that there is such thing as objective truth?
So, we've talked about this so many times.
Have we?
I think we have.
I don't feel like we have.
Here's the best way I can describe.
Are you saying that this podcast has run its course and we've got nothing left to say?
Here is, I will never not have anything else to say.
Okay.
Here is the best way that I can describe my position on objective truth. I don't know from what perspective I would stand in order to ever know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I would ever be able to stand outside of my own perspective. That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Mm-hmm.
So in the most real sense, I can't understand the idea of objective truth.
Okay.
And within my experience, I live as if there is objective truth because that is part of my experience.
Right, because you seem to be seeking it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as free will. I don't understand the concept of free will in a real sense. And I live as if I have free will because that is the only way that I've ever experienced life. That's it.
Yeah. Can I introduce you to compatibilism?
Sure.
No, I'm not going to right now. But I will say, since Krista challenged me on Sunday to write that parable.
Yeah.
Well, you saw it.
Yeah.
And you saw also the 10 discussion questions that go with it.
Yeah. I haven't read through it yet.
That's fine.
But I saw it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I've written another one that I haven't put out there yet. And it's on free will and morality. And so it's the same three people. By the way, I changed their names from the one I sent Krista.
Okay.
The three friends.
Yeah.
So, okay, real quick. I'm writing parables right now. I've only gotten 2.5 done.
Because Jeff sees himself as modern day Jesus.
What? Goodness gracious. I hope that someone just clips that.
Yeah, that's good.
Just clips. Jeff sees himself as modern day Jesus. And then that goes viral because that would be horrible. So, and then I'd spend the rest of my life having to explain that statement. Thank you, Lucas.
You're welcome.
So, it's called the Three Witnesses, and each parable has the same three people. And what I'm trying to do through those parables is explore some philosophical hot topics.
Yeah,
that seem to be surfacing right now, right? And so the one that I just finished writing is there's a guy, and by the way, this is based on a real experience a friend of mine had. So there's three people. And I've changed their names, I think, from when I sent it to Krista. One of them, his name is Al, who I've
Al Anonymous.
No, it helps me actually by naming them this. It helps me keep them in character as I'm writing.
Yeah,
so Al is Albert Einstein.
Okay.
Yeah. So he has sort of the scientific worldview.
Yeah.
Right. Walt Whitman.
Yeah.
The poetic, artistic look at the world.
Yeah.
And then Marcus, who is named after Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah. Who
is a little more philosophical. All right. But the twist to the whole thing is Marcus is also blind.
Yeah.
Right. And, I could explore justice with blind. Anyway, well, I guess I kind of do with the morality and the free will. So the story that I'm using, but I do want to get back to the conversation we're having, and I'm digressing, but is this, and you're the one that opened this up when you talked about it. I think you said something about objective morality, or I'm just making stuff up at this point. But three friends, And Marcus has been at a restaurant and he leaves his credit card on accident, and the waitress uses the credit card to buy groceries, diapers, and baby wipes. And when he figures out where he had left his credit card, he goes back. The owner of the restaurant fires the waitress, who the reason that she did that is because she's finding herself in a financially difficult place because her boyfriend has left her with this 2-year-old child.
Sure.
And she's trying to make ends
would you
meet.
steal bread to feed your kid?
Right. And this is a true story. Like this happened to my friend, right? And so the owner says, "Do you want to press charges?" And Marcus in the parable says, "Let me think about it." And so he calls his 2 friends, Al and Walt, and the 3 of them meet at a coffee shop, and he asks them. And then that opens us up to the conversation about free will and morality. So anyway,
I think it's great.
I enjoyed that one.
There is
All right, so back to the fact that you do believe in objective truth.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you answered you actually answered my second question, because the second question is, you live as if, right, but you can't understand, or you can't imagine how it could be anything other than subjective. Because that was my next question. Because I was seeing a circular.
Yeah, it is circular,
right?
It
Logic.
It is. There isn't. This is where I've come to. And actually, you know what's interesting? I was just about to say when you were talking about your little parable thing.
I'm surprised you didn't say your cute little parable thing, because that would have sounded completely
that sounded
dismissive. That
really
was great.
Condescending.
I appreciate that.
I didn't mean it like that.
I appreciate that dumb little project you're working on, Jeff.
I wish that I had meant it like that. That would have made it better. Anyway, during my undergrad, I don't know why I said undergrad. I don't have a master's degree. I don't know why I said that. All my friends always have master's degrees. I'm the only one that doesn't have a master's degree.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. During in one of my philosophy classes. I don't remember which one it was. Might have been our logic class. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We read a book called Who's to Say? And I still have it. It's fantastic. It's a little pamphlet book, and it's essentially a parable. And it's 5 friends who are on a ski trip. And that part of it's kind of hokey because they have to like make it like it's like they have like banter about going skiing, which is dumb. Because the whole point of it is discussing relativity. It's a discussion about relativism.
What's it called?
Who's to Say? It's a book that I have suggested for like our book groups, but it'd be for some committed people. Like it's not. It's good. It's good. I like it a lot. But the reason that I'm bringing it up is because that is where I first got introduced to this idea of like, how would I get outside of my perspective in order to look at my perspective, in order to see true objectivity. And as soon as the question is asked, it this is the correct use of this phrase, it begs the question. It answers its own question, right? But it's written in the same way as what you're doing, with your cute little parables. And I think that it's, again, I mean, I just don't, in the philosophical discussion, these answers seem inescapable to me, right? For instance, the skeptic's argument of all argument being subject to one of circular reasoning or infinite regress, right?
Describe infinite regress.
Logic is based on argument. You make an argument. That argument must have grounds. Those grounds must have evidence. Okay. The grounds for all arguments are another argument. Right?
Yeah.
Which require grounds, which is another argument, which
So that's
require
the
grounds.
regress.
That's infinite regress.
Okay.
You always have to back it up
Yeah.
by something that has to be backed up
Right.
itself.
Okay, so finish your thought, and then I've got thoughts on that too.
So my point being that I've never encountered any any counter argument to that was compelling to me.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems inescapable. This framework, in the same way that I think objectivity being something that is that seems unattainable on a philosophical level is inescapable. I think that even and this has been pointed out, even the scientific method relies on a priori positions and intuitions. And I think it is probably the best framework to understand the world, the scientific method. But even that is, like I said, even that is at its base requires some level of intuition, which is not objective. It's where we find ourselves,
right?
So that's where we are. Do you want me to answer your question? I've been thinking about this. Do you want me to answer your question about what I do about the person who I respect who has a wrong opinion?
Can I just point out that the language itself might betray the lack of respect? All right, go ahead.
No, I've been thinking about this because I think most of the time, if I respect someone, and then they have a position that I find incorrect, that I don't agree with, most of the time I can set it aside. Most of the time I kind of like it. It's enjoyable. Like I think about, for instance, I'm going to use two examples that are non-personal on purpose. So one is Daryl Cooper, who I respect greatly, and also he has quite a bit of disdain for libertarianism.
Okay.
He talks about libertarians as if they are the family member, the cousin that he loves, but I mean, obviously they've gone off the rails, or they haven't matured enough, right? And I like it. I like that. It's enjoyable to me, partly because when he talks about them, when he talks about libertarian principles, people, whatever, he kind of talks about it in the same way that I'm talking about his position, right? With a wink and a smirk, and like, they know they haven't grown up. They'll come around. And that allows me to be like, he knows he's trying to deny what's real. You know what I mean? Like we can all be in the same family, quote unquote family.
Yeah.
There's another personality, online personality named James Lindsay that I've followed quite a bit for the last, 6-7 years, something like that, who I really respected as well. And he has turned against a portion of his base, I would say, portion of his audience that I fall into in the last year or so, but in a way that's not with a wink and a smile, right? In a way that's like, no, I don't want you. And so that's a situation where like, it's not that he just has a position that I think is wrong. It's that he won't stop talking about it. So I guess that is that's two examples of if I respect someone, but they have a position that I don't agree with, that I think is incorrect, wrong, if it's just a portion,
Mm-hmm.
then it's enjoyable almost,
Yeah.
Then it's like it's the salt in the chocolate chip cookie
Mm-hmm.
for me, like that brings out the rest of the
Yeah.
relationship.
I like that. I like that image. Yeah, that analogy. Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Yeah. So and the two differences, the two examples you gave, there's, I would say that the one, there remains a level of respect.
Yeah.
The other one falls into at least the beginning of, if not outright full disrespect of the other person's position. So like either one of them, if you met them, one of them would still show you respect. The other one would explain to you why you don't, and I'm taking it to extreme.
Yeah. I get it.
But why you don't deserve respect anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that there's something to be said about that. And then that does open up another part of our conversation, in that what do you do when you're trying to be respectful and other people don't return the same courtesy. And so I think that's interesting too. But
then you do the Mel Robbins, let them, I think.
Yes, good. That's a good one. Mel Robbins. Yep.
Because they're
just let them.
Their actions are not my responsibility. My actions are my responsibility.
And
right?
now you've dipped your toe into stoicism too.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
All the good things. So, okay. So here's the thing. Objective truth. I want to go back there for a second. And I also want to talk a little bit about the infinite regress. Regress? Is that okay?
Infinite regress.
Infinite regress.
Circular reasoning or infinite regress.
Yeah, I can't read my own handwriting. Okay, so objective truth. The problem that I think that comes with objective truth is that it goes hand in hand with certainty.
Sure.
Right. And so, because too many times I've heard people, and then so the problem then is if I can in my own, I'm doing this for myself, right? I'm reframing all this for myself because I'm thinking about all the different things.
Yeah.
Right. The problem with certainty then is that you believe that you actually hold the objective truth. That not only is there objective truth, but you have it.
Yeah. Oh, you'd need to. You'd have to.
Yep.
Hold it.
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
You have to know it.
Sure.
Right. And I think that's where a lot of the breakdown takes place, right? Like I watched a conversation last week between different persons, and one of them was trying to explain to the other person that, but you at least acknowledge that that's your understanding, like that is the way you understand it, and their response was, no, that's the truth.
Sure.
All right. So I think once you end up there, the ability to engage in conversation dies. And so even in the moments where you try, so I think that what I'm hearing from you is, even though it's circular, right? That you live in such a way that you're seeking objective truth, even though you don't understand how it could, philosophically, you don't understand how it could exist. The fact that you don't understand how it could exist, that you don't understand how it could be anything other than subjective, allows you to continue to have conversation. The problem is, if you firmly believe that objective truth is philosophically possible and you have it, then that kills it. That kills the ability. I think not only does it kill the ability to have conversation, it also kills the ability for the individual who now holds that certainty to actually grow. They may not even feel they need to.
Yeah, but I just want to I want to steelman the position for those who, because would not only say objective truth can be known, but that I do know it.
Uh-huh.
I think that there is a concern that if you were to hold the position that objective truth is not obtainable, that there are too many catastrophic ramifications from that. And so, the term relativism, I think, gets used as a pejorative, which is understandable, I think. And I think that's because there is a real concern about what happens if you take the position that that objective truth doesn't exist. And you can imagine, for instance, someone saying, well, if there is no objective reality, there's no objective truth, then there is no basis for saying, for instance, that abusing women is wrong. That maybe it's just a person's culture, or that abusing children is wrong, or that racism is wrong.
Or if there's not an objective truth, then, and I would say that that's where then we get into this infinite regress, because I would argue with the a priori.
Yeah, but that
objective truth is necessary for those things.
Okay. Why would you think that objective truth would not wait? Well, again, I want to say that
because I buy into evolutionary biology.
Okay. Yeah. And that's fine. I have a different thing that I stand on, for these. But what I would say is that, like, the reason that I'm using these particular examples is that I do think that the term objective truth tends to get used to describe the position of, for instance, like conservative, evangelical, traditional, fundamentalist, whatever, term you want to use, that type of religious person. But I think that I hear it just as much with someone who would consider themselves to be progressive or left-leaning or whatever, because, again, you can hear it if you get into certain conversations. You will hear someone say, well, yeah, but we can all agree, though, that, for instance, racism is wrong. Okay. What are we doing there? We are stepping back and going, whoa,
but there
let's
is an
all
objective
stop.
Truth. Yeah.
There is an objective truth, and this is the objective truth, right?
Right.
And so I'm not saying that to dismiss that position. What I'm saying is I can understand the concern that everyone would have with dismissing this idea of objective truth. It feels like a solid rock that we're standing on. And if we get rid of that solid rock, there is no limit to the depths that we could fall.
Sure. Right. And that was the argument that I heard. And they said that the only logical conclusion, which I always love that,
sure,
is nihilism. Which I don't think that's true either.
Which I actually don't have any problem with, because I like nihilism.
Yeah,
but
right.
Anyway, I do. I think nihilism gets a bad rap. But anyway, let's continue.
So I think our next episode we're going to talk about nihilism.
And I like that you call it nihilism. That's how my wife pronounces it too. I've always pronounced it nihilism. But like annihilate.
It's tomato.
It is tomato. Yep. And I've heard plenty of people pronounce it.
And nihilism. I had someone try to correct me recently when I said Nietzsche, and they said Nietzsche, and I said no, I'm pretty sure it's Nietzsche. So anyway,
with an
E. They pronounced it Nietzsche. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I was like Nietzsche.
But okay, so anyway, so going back though, just a second.
Yep. Yeah, because we're going to talk about next episode. We're going to talk about nihilism.
Okay. I do not keep. This is something I've been thinking about a lot, and I'm going to say it for myself, but I think this applies to everyone personally. I do not keep these philosophical ideas in the front of my mind 100% of the time. That's not how I live my life.
It's a healthier way to live than what I'm doing right now.
I don't think you do either. I think when you go through your life,
I think I'm in and that's why I said what I do right now, because right now in the last few weeks, I have not been able to get out of my own philosophical way.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying, and I just the way that I just worded that sounded like I was telling you what you do with your life, and that's not what I meant. What
That's
I
okay.
mean is,
you're not. Yeah, go ahead.
What I mean is, if I really sit and think about the myriad of activities that I participate in a day, I mean, it's trillions. And I was thinking about this when I was driving up here, like just picking up something. The act of picking up something is like a billion actions within one, right? In terms of all the muscles and the tendons and the nerves and the thought processes and all of that, just that. So I don't sit and go, now I'm sitting in at this stoplight and I'm inching up, but I'm thinking about is this objectively I live my life in just responding to stimuli. And so I don't sit here going, well, I don't believe in objective truth, so there is no objective truth, and so then I have to evaluate on what basis do I determine right now that I'm not going to steal this this drink off the shelf in the grocery store. No, I don't. You know what I do? I go, I don't, because stealing's wrong. Well, why is it wrong, Lucas? I don't know, because it is. That's the end. That's the thing that I stand on, that I walk through, because it is.
Right.
Is it? Is it wrong? Is it wrong, Mr. Person who's asking me that? Is it not wrong? Do you really not think it's wrong? Really? Okay, because here's the thing. If you don't think it's wrong to steal that drink off the shelf, then I want you put outside of my society. And that's it. Well, on what basis do you have a right to do that, Lucas, if there's no objective reality? I don't know. I just think it should be. So do it. That's the end. That's the end of it.
Okay.
Right?
So let me
go ahead.
Okay, one last thought, because we're up against it.
Yeah.
So what if this, and maybe this will just make everyone mad, which is sometimes I think our goal. What if we say, okay, objective truth may exist, but I'm not convinced that that it's attainable for any person.
Yeah, that I have no problem with that. May exist is a totally fine philosophical premise, as far as I'm concerned.
So we found common ground?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect, because I don't think we were ever off of common ground.
Yeah,
but
not on this one.
But it was good. All right, thanks.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Living on Common Ground. Please follow wherever you listen to your podcasts and share it with your friends. You can also find a link to our social in the description. The more people we have living on common ground, the better the world will be.